Hello all, welcome home. You are here on a Saturday night for a very, very special SuperMex Oscar special, Academy Award special, etc. So it is a Saturday night, not the usual Friday night, but we are at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, so a little later for my people across the country back to the East Coast, which is at 8 p.m. a little after. So what we're doing tonight with my good crime partner, Liana Jean, the unknown silent Utah assassin, producer, actor, writer, all the above, we are going to go over the main categories of the Oscars that will be seen tomorrow. And so we're going to kind of give you our picks slash who we think will win, or maybe who we want to win. I didn't tell Liana which it had to be, but we're going to work that out as we go, because I don't like scripting that part. I like talking about it and then letting you guys kind of make your choice as you're watching. But we have what we need in front of us in terms of the picks that we're going to go over, and hopefully we'll see if that works out tomorrow, because there's nothing like making a pick and then maybe winning, and then if you don't, you get to complain and cry about it after the fact. So that's what we've got. So a very special night on a Saturday, and a little bit more dressed than usual. Black tie, just not a bow. And we'll go about 1 hour tonight, and then you'll get to watch the award ceremony if you so choose, or if it's your desire, tomorrow night. I think it begins at about 5 o'clock also, Pacific Daylight Time, 8 p.m. for East Coast. So that's tomorrow. And even though we will have a different show tomorrow, I'll give you a little bit about that before we head out tonight, but I will definitely be watching Oscars, because I'm happy to say I've watched almost all of the Best Picture nominees. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work, especially when they're running 2 or 3 hours. I mean, some of them are really, really long. Either way, I'm glad you're with us here on a Saturday night. Before we begin, I want to put this out. So on the page, in my not my YouTube, but my Facebook page, in the group, I mentioned tonight that we've had 2 winners that are pending. I have to send them movies because some of them haven't come out yet. For instance, Jojo Rabbit, I've got to get that to Sean Bowden. And I think I have Annette Brazil. We kind of didn't specify which movie we were going to give her, going back to the show we did on the best movies of 2019. So what I'm going to do tonight, for one lucky SuperMex Nation follower, listener, fan, all of the above, out of the movies that are nominated tonight, I'm going to give one of those movies to one lucky fan tonight. Here are the requirements. Really simple entry. You got to watch. You got to share. I'll be able to see the share, because off of this broadcast for tonight, I'll be able to know who shared out to their own page. What I also need you to do, so 2-part, watch and share, which you're already doing. So share out right now. If you're watching the show right now, share it. That's half of the requirement. The other half is, and KP will put this up in a sec or during the course of the show, go to the YouTube page, SuperMex International, the YouTube page, and subscribe. We're starting to build that. I need to get more subscribers as we move the platform more toward the YouTube format than the Facebook. Okay, so I need you to watch and share on Facebook, and then I need you to go to YouTube, SuperMex International, and I need you to subscribe as a member of SuperMex Nation, SuperMex International. Okay, if you do those 2 things, you're going to be in the drawing for a win of one of the Oscar-nominated movies that we are going to talk about tonight. There you go. Not terribly complicated, not too difficult. And again, last I checked, free is good. Free is good. Okay, so without any further ado, let's bring my crime partner on air, Liana Jean, coming in live from Utah, place of business. We're going to have her up in a second.
Hello.
There she is. So, do you have the secret sauce like I do for the Oscar night?
Always. Just got happy little water bottles sitting down here.
Water bottles. You're a better person than me. Okay, so what I said is that the coordination we do is you and I have a discussion. This is what the show's going to be about. and then I don't like hard script what you're going to do in terms of your choices, your picks, etc. So this is what I believe. And I kind of thought about it, you know, over the course of the week, going back to last week when we had first initially talked about doing an Oscar special. I have the ones that I think will win in the respective categories. And then I think I have some that I want to win. And I don't know if they're going to win, but I'd like them to win. So if we can marry those, at least on my end anyway, if we can marry those, then all things are good, and maybe we come away and I get a lot of winners tomorrow. So how did you approach this? Are you going for what you think, or the nominee you think will win, or who you'd like to win?
Yeah, I'm going with the one that I think is going to win. I think one of the conversations we'll probably end up having is there were some pretty significant oversights, right, with regards to
yeah.
nominations. But yeah, I went with who I think is going to pull out the win.
Okay, so are you trying to like make a choice and move the needle a little bit? Like maybe they get it wrong, and you know, maybe next year they'll not overlook, you know, certain people that are doing good work.
I mean, that's the hope. That's the conversation that's kind of been going on for a while, I suppose, right? With regards to, I mean, we mentioned this when we were talking about the best films of 2019, and which is near to what I care about, but female filmmakers in particular being left out of a lot of these nominations, right? So we'll see. We'll see if they learn and if next year's a little different.
No, absolutely. You know what? I'll piggyback a little, even though I don't normally. I like to call it, I'll rucksack that. But after we had that discussion on air on the best movies of 2019, I thought about that and I said to myself, you know what? She's right. You know, there is a dearth, D-E-A-R-T-H. There's a dearth, there's a void there where it's like blatantly, you know, more male. And I don't mean just in the categories, but like in the quality of work. Some were clearly overlooked, if not omitted, and definitely didn't get the attention that maybe they should have. You know, and I doubt, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if somebody's out there actively saying, oh, they're females, so we won't. But I think it's much more of a soft, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an active oversight. I don't think people are purposely disqualifying.
Correct.
At least I like to hope that they're not. I think it's more so just what's been ingrained for so long, right?
Correct.
This is the criteria that we're looking at. And I mean, it's a conversation that we talk about in literature as well. There are different ways of communicating, different ways of telling stories, depending on perspective, right? So a male perspective is going to be different from a female perspective.
Right.
And so maybe the criteria that's being used to assess what's considered award-worthy isn't taking that into account the way it should.
Exactly. Okay, so I've been mindful of that, and you know, I don't know if I don't think that affected my choices, at least not, again, overtly. I am a guy. Maybe it did, you know, subconsciously, who knows? But I'm more hyper aware in that sense because I'm around women that will bring those things up and will make those points. They're like, okay, yeah, great movies, but, right? And so it forces me to have to take a look, and you're now part of that menagerie of women I have around me that are on me telling me, what about this and this? And that's a good thing, right? Because that's how you bring attention and focus to something. If someone doesn't say something, then it will not come forward. So, okay, so this is how I think we're going to approach it. So we've got 6 categories for you guys, 6 categories. Basically the main categories that you will see tomorrow night after you watch the red carpet, all that stuff. But the main categories that wrap up the evening. So I think we're going to do as much as we can to approach it in that fashion. So I'll say, for starters, Best Picture will be our last category tonight. I think, Liana, if you're okay with it, what we'll do is Best Director will be second to last. Best Director and Best Picture will be at the back end while we tackle up front the 4 acting categories. Lead female, lead male, supporting female, supporting male. So I think we'll go out in that first, and unless I don't think you have any, you know, super major objections, we're all good there?
Yeah, we are good with that. Let's do it.
Excellent, excellent. So let's start with the dudes. Best supporting male in a movie. And so we're going to get real high speed. I think KP, if you're able, we'll pull up the category and you can see the names. We'll go through the names, and then Liana and I will make our picks in each of the respective categories as you guys get to view them. So best male supporting actor in a movie. I'll drink to that. Maybe that's what we'll do. I should have did the drinking game. I really wanted to do the drinking game. I'm getting better at this. So from now on, when we do these specials, it's going to make it a drinking game. And yes,
right,
I'm not just drinking my Arizona tea. That's my my disguise. Okay. Best supporting male actor. All right. So we have Tom Hanks, Sir Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Brad Pitt. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, without it on the screen, so Tom Hanks is nominated for his role in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, playing Mr. Rogers. Sir Anthony Hopkins, this nomination was for playing a pope in The Two Popes. That's available on Netflix, by the way, and easy to get a hold of. Al Pacino is nominated for Best Supporting, along with Joe Pesci. In The Irishman, he plays Jimmy Hoffa. And then we have let's add Joe Pesci to that. But so Al Pacino and Joe Pesci for The Irishman, Best Supporting Actor. And then KP's like, he's foreshadowing. He's got Brad Pitt real big. That's a good one. He's got Brad Pitt real big in his supporting role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay, so I'll go first in terms of, let me see, which ones did I see? I did see The Irishman, so those two. I did see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I have not seen the Mr. Rogers role, and I am going to watch The Two Popes. I've got that ready to go. How about you, Liana? What have you seen? Which ones have you taken a look at?
Yeah, so I've seen The Irishman. I have seen the Tom Hanks, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh, you did see that?
And then same with you. I have not yet seen The Two Popes, but I want to see it. But I actually also have not seen Once Upon a Time. So that's another one I need to see.
Really? I got you.
I know.
Hey, by the way, it's pretty long too. It's pretty long. It's a good long. Yeah, it's a lengthy movie. Okay, so Age Before Beauty. You want to go first? You want me to go?
Let's hear what you got, since you won out with them having seen the most.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with Brad Pitt because he's kind of winning everything. Joe Pesci in The Irishman might have been one of his best roles in a long, long time. It was that good. He was subtle and below the surface.
That's the key that I've heard, like with him, is that compared to his other roles, this role was very different for him.
Right. He was definitely not, the typical Joe Pesci role. So I'm bringing that up because I'm going to go with Brad Pitt for the win. But I have if there's a shot and a possibility that there might be a slight upset, I think it might be Joe Pesci. I think it might. What say you?
All right. So I feel naturally like my ability to decide is a little skewed since I have not seen all of them. But that being said, I think I'm going to have to go with Tom Hanks. I just think he is so good at what he does. He completely transforms for every character that he plays. I don't know that he has the buzz around him right now, but I think he deserves that for the complete transformation that he goes under. I mean, think about who he's played.
Yeah.
Walt Disney. He was, Mr. Rogers in this one.
Yep.
Then we're also looking at just all of his other rom-coms that he's been in, right? And he's just able to completely take that role and make it his own.
And already a multiple Oscar winner.
Right. So
Right.
he's just really well established. He's good at what he does.
Okay, so that's your pick. So you know what? I didn't think about this. Maybe what we should do, in addition, friendly competition. I'll owe you something. We'll figure out the what. If I win and I get more picks than you, we'll figure it out, right? All
right. Okay.
I think we joked on the phone. I'll force you to come back to Fresno so we can do, an on-air, in-person program. All right, so you got Brad Pitt. Excuse me, I got Brad Pitt. You got Tom Hanks. All right, KP, for the record, you got us. We are on record. All right, let's go to the next category. That is the best supporting male actor, in a movie. Best supporting actor. Right. So let's go to best supporting female actor.
I'm looking for it now. I don't think this is the one best supporting.
It could just be the names. You don't necessarily have to do the photos. Oh, I think that is it. Does that look good, Liana? I think. Yeah, Kathy Bates.
Dern, Scarlett Johansson.
There you go. The only one I don't know.
The little woman, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Laura Dern is nominated for her role as Best Supporting Actress in Marriage Story. Kathy Bates is for what was her movie? Liana, do you know? I do know this. I'll come back to it. Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. Margot Robbie nominated Best Supporting Actress for Bombshell. And Liana, help me out with the young gal in the lower left corner. Is she there? Liana, you there? Hello. Did we lose her? Hello. Or not? Uh-oh. All right, get her back on screen. We have those now. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, so you were hearing me.
Yes.
I was like, where's she at? Where's she at? Okay, so who was the gal in Little Women? I didn't get that one.
Florence Pugh. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name properly, but Florence Pugh.
But it is for Little Women, right?
Right.
Okay, and then the Kathy Bates role. Do you know what role that was in?
It's for a film called Richard Jewell, but I have not seen.
Oh yeah, Richard Jewell, the Clint Eastwood flick. Okay, so I did know that. Okay, so Laura Dern has also been doing well, and I tell you what, I'm going to go with that because I think Laura Dern deserves an Oscar for a long body of work, and I don't know if she's ever really been recognized as a good actress. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
Even though I've got
she's my pick as well.
Okay. All right. So we're in unison there. Even though let's do the sleeper / upset possibility. I'm quietly hoping for Scarlett Johansson.
I know you are.
I got a crush on her. I think. Well, you remember I named her as my actress of the decade.
I remember. Yeah.
It's not just that she's cute. It's that she is doing work right now. I mean, she really is. And so she's the only female nominated twice in a supporting role and the lead role. And I think that's kind of badass for two totally different roles, by the way. So she's my sleeper, but I do believe Laura Dern deserves it. And so she's also your pick. Have you, I think you've seen Marriage Story, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so give me a little bit on Marriage Story.
So essentially it's looking at the disintegration of this couple, right? So Scarlett Johansson's character is married to Adam Driver's, and it starts off with them in, basically in mediation, or in couples counseling. And the storytelling is really good. It's just kind of a look at the complexities that come into play in a relationship between two people Or neither person's bad, or neither person's a bad person, but maybe they just not grown together, or maybe they're just not good for each other anymore.
Just not working. And so Laura Dern plays the counselor, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And good, And I think if you're with me on that, I do believe Laura Dern deserves, a win. And we'll see if that happens. But I think she'll win. So we're in unison there. We're both with Laura Dern. We got to make sure we don't end up with a tie. I don't like doing ties.
Oh, no. Don't worry. We won't.
Hey, I was going to say, we'll let KP break the tie. But I caught myself because I know that won't happen. If it comes to KP breaking a tie, I know I lose. I know I'm going to lose. We
can arm wrestle for that. How about that?
That sounds good. Okay, so you're probably right, though. I doubt it's going to be a tie. We'll figure out how we do it. But either way. Okay, so we both got Laura Dern for Best Supporting Female in a Movie. And we have separately, I've got Brad Pitt for Best Supporting Male, and you've got, what was yours again?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. That's kind of cheating. That's like an easy way out because he's always in the mix. He could always win. That's a cheat.
It's true. He can always win.
Yeah.
But, technically, you're right. It is the season of Brad Pitt right now. So isn't not choosing him also cheating?
I guess. But listen, I got to admit, I did like the role for him, and I do believe he played the hell out of what he got. I really do. He murdered that role, as Leo DiCaprio's sidekick, old dog, failed stuntman, and it just worked. And I think it was one of his better performances, even though I don't think the guys appreciate it. I think, he's a good-looking dude. He's always gotten that. But the guy can act. And I think he acted his ass off in that role. So I'm cheating too. Let's all cheat. It's a world of cheating. Okay, so we've got our picks in the supporting categories. We're clipping right along. I was intending to keep KP here 5 hours, but you can't stay that long, so we'll
Sorry about that.
We're clipping at a good pace, though. Okay, so all business. Let's move on to lead male actor in a movie. Lead actor in a movie. All right, so here we go. We've got, is that 6 of them? Is it 6 or 5?
Is it the right one?
That's probably not the right one.
Sorry, the wrong one.
It should be just 5.
Yeah, I got it.
But maybe that's for a different awards show.
My bad.
I apologize to people on camera. I'm looking at the screen above and the camera at you because I'm trying to make sure Liana Jean's engaged so I can see her face if she's telling me an untruth. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so lead actor in a movie. I've got Jonathan Pryce in the lower left corner for The Two Popes. Again, that's got to be crazy how they decided who got supporting and acting nods. So that's Jonathan Pryce, if I'm not mistaken, for The Two Popes, which again, I'm watching that probably tomorrow or the day after. That's on my short list of the last few movies that I've got to see. Adam Driver in the upper right-hand corner for Marriage Story. My dog Joaquin Phoenix in the lower left corner for Joker. And Leonardo DiCaprio, upper left corner as I'm viewing it anyway, and as you're viewing it, for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then Puss in Boots for I'm being funny. What's this role? I don't know this one. It's the Pedro Almodovar movie. I can't remember the name of it though. I didn't watch it. You know what it is, KP or Liana? The movie for God damn, I'm bubbling on the name here. For Puss in Boots.
Oh, that's the Banderas.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas, but I can't remember the movie.
Just a second.
It's a Pedro Almodovar movie. I didn't watch it. Full disclosure, I didn't get to watch it. Did you get a chance to watch that one?
Pain and Glory.
What's that?
Pain and Glory.
Pain and Glory. It sounds like a wrestling match. Did you get a chance to watch that, Liana, or no?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So I have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Joker. Wow, I'm deficient here. I didn't see 3 of them. Still waiting on the 2 popes. Which ones did you get to see?
I saw The Joker, I saw Marriage Story, and then same, I'm waiting on the 2 popes here as well.
Okay.
So the other 2 I just discussed with you likewise.
Right.
So I might have got some work to do.
Yeah. So I think you know where I'm at because we've already done this. I've talked a lot about it. I've also named him my actor of the decade for his body of work. He's just got so many roles, including Oscars, over the last 10 years. I think he's hitting his stride. There are a lot of good actors out there, but I think he closes this decade out, the whole decade, as the overall best actor for me anyway. So my pick for the Oscar is Joaquin Phoenix for his just absolutely, incredible, and I can give a whole lot of cool words here, but just an absolutely astounding performance in Joker. So that's what I've got. What sayest thou?
Yeah. I would be foolish to disagree with Joaquin Phoenix winning this.
You're hedging your bets. You're hedging your bets. That's pretty good. But I think he's going to win. And, you saw the movie too, right?
I did.
Yeah. And it's...
His work in that role was amazing.
Yeah. That was, that nexus point where a great role meets headlong with a great actor at the right time in the right circumstance. It was that good. Mm-hmm. I really do believe. It was in terms of performances, it was one of my favorite of the year, if not the last number of years. It was just that good. So that one's simple enough. That one's easy enough. Do you have a sleeper there that you think might sneak in?
I could see Adam Driver sneaking in and taking it for Marriage Story.
For Marriage Story?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also the season of Adam Driver, He's been doing a lot of good stuff the last few years as well.
You're going to chuckle a little bit. He did Saturday Night Live a few weeks ago.
Did he?
And yes, and no joke, it was one of the best Saturday Night Lives, the SNLs, of the season. It was
really
good, that good. No, it was just like great music also, by the way. I won't go into that too much, but you could watch Saturday Night Live and you watch the opening skit and it's about politics or Trump or something, it's funny, and then maybe you go a few and then you're like, I don't want to be here an hour and a half. I watched all of it and it was just really good. They even gave you a taste of Kylo Ren in a weird, psychologically, astounding way. But his Saturday Night Live was one of the best of the season. So you may be more right than I when it comes to Adam Driver. What's that?
So I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think that was the one with Halsey, one of my girl crushes, by the way. Halsey really kicked ass. Yeah, I got a big crush on her. She is badass. So she had a phenomenal performance on SNL twice. 2 times. So it was just a great SNL. But so I'm just bringing back to point. Adam Driver is beginning to hit his stride, as a young buck coming up. So you're going with Adam Driver. I think, you know what, that's a good sleeper call. I can go with that. And that's been on my mind lately, especially since, here's the thing. Guilt up front. I love doing guilt in advance. I don't like doing the Catholic guilt because I'm a Catholic. I like doing guilt in advance. My guilt is I haven't seen Marriage Story. So because I haven't seen Marriage Story, I'm going to rely on you a little bit. But I'm going to go with Adam Driver as a sleeper, with both of our picks for number 1 being Joaquin Phoenix. Okay, there you guys go. Okay, let's move on. So lead actress in a movie, best actress in a movie. Okay, so in the upper left corner, I've got Scarlett Johansson. In Marriage Story, see how she's nominated twice. She has 2 opportunities to win. I can't remember that gal's name, but that's for Harriet, playing the role of Harriet Tubman from our U.S. history. I can't remember her name. Do you know her name?
Cynthia Erivo?
Erivo?
Yeah, Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Oh yeah, there's your girl in the upper right corner, Saoirse Ronan in Little Women. And I think in the lower right corner we have Judy, played by Renee Zellweger. And then in the lower left corner we have Megyn Kelly, look-alike for sure, played by Charlize Theron in Bombshell. So I've seen Bombshell, not seen Marriage Story, not seen Harriet. Oh wow, I'm way in bad shape here. Look at that male thing. That's a white male rage thing. That's what I got going on. I've only seen one of those movies. I've only seen one. How many of those have you seen, Liana? Do you know
I've
how
seen
many
three.
You've seen 3 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I've seen Judy, I've seen A Marriage Story, and I've seen Little Women.
Okay. I had the opportunity to watch Judy, but I kind of fell asleep while my daughter and my wife were watching it. And they said she was incredible. I mean, she just played the role.
She was incredible. I'm just going to go out already and call it. She wins it. Renee Zellweger gets it.
Yeah, so she's another one. I'm going to go with you. We're going to end up tied. That's not good. I want to tell you right now because KP's going to have to break it, and that means I lose.
Judy.
All right, so we're going with KP's in agreement. We're all going with Renee Zellweger for her star-turning role in Judy. I mean, and let's face it, Renee Zellweger's been around a long time, but you know she's definitely drawing raves and all kinds of accolades, not just in awards, but from her fellow actors and actresses for her role. But as I said a few weeks ago, if you remember, Renee Zellweger will always be Dorothy Boyd to me. I don't give a damn if she wins the Oscar. She's still Dorothy Boyd. Jerry Maguire. Hey, if Cuba Gooding Jr. can win that damn Oscar, then she could have won one too. Okay, so we're in agreement. We're both going Renee Zellweger. Yay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so who's your sleeper / upset pick? Out of that
my sleeper might have to be I'm torn between Scarlett and Saoirse.
You want to be on my good side here.
I'm torn between Scarlett and Saoirse. I'm not sure which of those two, you know?
I think, well, here's the critter, right? Scarlett Johansson's up for 2 lead and supporting roles. And it's looking likely she doesn't win either one. However, maybe they do something about it and give her one in an upset, you know, maybe lead, maybe I don't know. But I'd like to see her win one, is my point. I'd like to see her win. So she's my upset sleeper pick.
Just to mix it up, I'm going to go with the sleeper of Saoirse. Just so we're not the same on all of our picks. How about that?
Yeah, I know. We're getting a little too simpatico here, a little too close. Okay, so there's your upset. But we're both going Renee Zellweger. More than likely, she's going to win, and I really do believe she probably should. She's a hell of an actress, and I think it's her turn. You know, whatever the turn means. So there are your 4 actors and actress categories for our choices tonight. All right. And we're clipping along at a good pace. So we're going to go now to Best Director. Best Director for their movies. And so you're going to have to help me a little. This is probably KP's category. We'll make this KP's category. All right. So I know, say, Quentin Tarantino in the lower right corner for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've got Martin Scorsese in the lower left corner, right, left, for The Irishman. My man Park for Parasite that I just finished seeing a few days ago. Last week actually.
Bong Joon-ho.
Park Joon-ho?
Yes.
Okay. For Parasite. Which one's Mendes? Sam Mendes.
Top left.
Top left. There you go. I wasn't sure. Top left, Sam Mendes, and that's for 1917. Which I'm proud to say I just finished watching not even 2 hours ago. I finally saw it. All right, saw 1917. And in the upper right corner, I've got
Todd Phillips. Joker.
Oh yeah, Todd Phillips, Joker. Okay, that's it. That's a good group. That's a good group. That's a good group. Okay, I'm going to defer to Beauty Before Age. See, if you were in my house, I'd be saying age before booty because I got a big butt, got a Martinez butt. So your call here. Which one are you going to go with? Because I don't think we're going to pick the same one here.
So I'm torn between 1917. However, I think 1917 might win for cinematography more than directing. And I might go with Jung Ho. I think I'm going to go with that one for Parasite.
Oh, man.
Is that the one you're going with?
Que diablos. Okay, all right. Let's see how we're going to do this mess. All right, no, I'm not. Okay, so I have seen The Joker. I just finished seeing 1917. Worth it. And I think I shared that with you when we talked a little earlier today. Saw that. Saw Joker. I saw Parasite about a week and a half ago. And let me see, the upper, Todd Phillips, Joker, Sam Mendes, 17, Parasite. What were the two on the bottom?
Scorsese and Tarantino.
Irishman and I've seen all of them. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Self-acclamation. Look, self-acclamation. I don't need what is it, a participation trophy. I don't need a participation. I participate myself. There you go.
That's right.
I'm self-actualized and self-motivated. Okay, so I am going with Park. I'm going with Park because I watched the hell out of that movie, and I'm glad I watched it. I was astounded by how good it was. It shocked the hell out of me. I was like, whoa, this is a really damn good movie. And the crafting of what he did with that movie really kind of floored me. And I've seen all the other movies. I liked all those other movies. But yeah, I think I might go with Park as well. So we're kind of in an ugly spot here where we're locked up. We're locked up. So I'm going with Park too. We might have to do a default, like a default setting, and say whoever if we tie. If we tie, what's that?
Our only difference right now is on supporting actors, so
I know,
we're just going to have to see.
I know. So what I'm thinking is, if we end up tied, check this out. If we end up tied, we are on record here for the people. We will go to our second or upset picks.
All right.
That's going to have to be it. Otherwise, we're going to be locked in unison on just about every damn choice here. So go ahead and give me your backup pick.
My backup might have to be The Joker.
Okay, Todd Phillips and The Joker. All right. Should I just say I'm picking The Joker too?
Oh my God.
I'm being hard-headed now. Let me. See, you're making me work here. I actually have to think about this now, because again, I've seen all of them. I've seen all those movies. It would be a little too obvious for me. Let me say this real quick because we're doing okay on time. I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I love Quentin Tarantino as a director. And you know the rule. Everything that comes after but is what you pay attention to. So, but I remember telling my wife this. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a great flick, but it's just another good Quentin Tarantino flick. And then I'll leave it there because I don't want to disparage it at all because it's a damn good movie. But it is that. It is what it is. It's a good Tarantino movie, a really good one. I loved Inglourious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs. I can go on and on, all of them. But, and everything that comes after but is what you should be paying attention to. I'm not going to go with it because it is what Quentin Tarantino is. It didn't change anything for me. It didn't move anything for me. It didn't elevate anything for me. So I'm removing that one. See how I'm doing that? I'm whittling away. I'm like one of your students. I'm doing the guessing game with my numbers here. Oh man, I'm trying to stay away from your second choice is what I'm trying to do. I think I may go with Mendes as director.
1917, all right.
As director. Since it's fresh.
It is.
And listen, I told you too that I'm a vet. I'm a military man. I'm an infantryman. It's hard for me to watch good military vet war movies without being moved a little bit. And I will say this, it was done well. It was a good war movie and a good story, a good tale. In addition to what KP's probably about to bop me on the head for, it was incredible visually. It was stunning.
Oh, it was visually stunning.
Visually, you can see a master of his craft taking great pains to make sure what you see, what you get, is something sumptuous and as a feast, a visual feast. And so I'm going with that. Probably a little bit, I'm trying to stay away from you. So I'm not looking at it from the written portion, just the story. I'm looking at it from these other perspectives that you and KP are helping me find, from the layman's perspective. Clearly the guy did work. He did some work that was unique to him, and it shows in what you see. So I'm going with, in a long, drawn-out way. To make the long story short, no, let's make the short story really long. So I'm going to go with Mendes to counter your choice. Okay? Yeah. And maybe that might be the tiebreaker. That might be the tiebreaker. That might be it. Let's
all right, we're just gonna see where it lands.
Let's hope so. Okay, so let's get to our big money category. And here's the thing. So there's like 9. I think the nominations are 9 for Best Picture. Best Picture. Okay, so hold that up for a second, KP. So what we got is, and I'm sad to say I have not, even though I was gonna watch it. Let's go from the left upper corner first. Ford versus Ferrari with my dog Christian Bale, one of my all-time favorite actors. Nominated Best Picture. Christian Bale, Matt Damon, Ford versus Ferrari. The Irishman, Martin Scorsese. You've got Jimmy Hoffa, played by Al Pacino. You got Robert De Niro. You got Joe Pesci. You got Harvey Keitel. That one kind of went under the radar, but Harvey Keitel's badass himself. So The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll be here all night. The Joker, also. Let's ditto that. I would be here all night. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Little Women. Now watch this, Watch this, KP. I'm scoring points with Liana Jean. Little Women by Greta Gerwig. Overlooked.
Nice.
Overlooked and unappreciated. I think it's going to come back to haunt them. She is good, and she's cool, by the way. I mean, you ever listen to her and just watch her? Just talking.
I love her interviews.
Yeah, she's cool. I kind of like her. She's cute. She's good. She's smart, capable, doing as good of work as anybody else. I'll go on, but I'm scoring points with you. So, Little Women, Greta Gerwig. In the lower left corner, we have Marriage Story. And you've got basically 3 nominations out of Marriage Story. In addition to Best Picture category, you have Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and Laura Dern, all nominated for their respective roles. Marriage Story. 1917 by Sam Mendes. If you like war movies, it's a great war flick. And I'm going to say it again. It is a visual, sumptuous feast to watch. I think I said to you, Liana, when I was on the phone with you a little earlier, it is the reason why you should get up and go to a movie theater. It is that. Yeah. Go to a movie theater to watch this movie. It was like crazy badass. So 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, the still rising and ascendant Margot Robbie, who just came out in Birds of Prey, and I'm gonna go check that out. And Quentin Tarantino directed Parasite in your lower left corner by Park, the director. And I will say this because I'm a pig of a dude. Man, the mom, that what's her name? I can't remember her name in the flick. She's cute. That Korean actress, she's cute as hell. Like, damn, what is she? I've never seen her before. Either way, Parasite, and then what was the lower right corner? KP? Huh?
I think there were just the 9.
That's it.
That was it. Oh, my bad. It was the Oscar. It was the Oscar. Okay, so those are your 9 flicks for Best Picture. All right, so there's probably no way I'm going to say that you and I are not going to pick the same one. I'm fairly certain. We're not picking the same
Probably
one.
not. You're right. You're right.
So I'm going to let you go first, ladies first. And
right.
age before booty, but younger age before booty. And go ahead and take your choice of those 9. What do you got?
I'm gonna have faith and hope.
I didn't hear you. Did you pick one?
I'm gonna go with Little Women. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna have faith and hope that even though they overlooked her for Best Director, that they're gonna try and like make up for it by giving this Best Film.
Balance the scales.
Yeah.
Balance the oversight.
Right.
So she's not telling you. Okay, so you're going Little Women. Okay, so yeah. Look at, I'm a bad male guy. That's what it's like, male anger. Yeah, right. I don't do anger. So I've struggled with this because I've seen almost all of those. I watched 1917 today. The only one left, I think, was Ford versus Ferrari that I needed to get to. And I kind of like, it's like you're being a movie nut, right? You like them all. They're good movies. There's a reason why they're nominated.
Yeah.
So it's like head or heart. This is literally what I began the show with you about whether I wanted to pick because this is what I want or what I think will happen. And I've landed back there at the end of our hour here. So, and KP probably knows it because I've said plenty. I would like to pick the Joker, but I'm not because I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to win Best Actor, and I don't think they're going to go more than that. I think after watching 1917, I think 1917 might win. I think they're going to win. And then you know the rule. Everything that comes before but disregard. So I'm going to do it again. Nalgas. But. That's Spanish. So, but. I'm going to go with my heart. And kind of like what you said at the top of the hour. I'm going to go with my heart because I think it needs to move the head. And I'm going to go with Jojo Rabbit. I'm stuck.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be the one.
I'm stuck on that movie. So let's discuss a little bit before we wrap up our evening. So I'm gonna say again because I know we had this discussion before when we did the best movies of 2019. We've talked about it. We've talked about yours, and we're going to flesh that out for this special. So I'm going with Jojo Rabbit because this is what I've said more than once on air. I've watched a lot of World War II and Nazi Germany movies. And for the record, being the history teacher, there is no more covered period in history than World War II in Nazi Germany. It is the most covered, talked about, written about, movied about, thought about, epoch, E-P-O-C-H, in human history. So if you're going to do a movie on World War II or Nazi Germany, you really, really need to do something special. And I absolutely believe with certainty that this movie is going to stand not only the test of time, but it's going to be known for a long time as something quite unique in that space, that period, that time, that genre. It was, I was reminded today, and I did a little bit more research. It has, it's kind of like the Joker. It's got all these like social relevances right now. Racism, sexism, fascism. And if you don't think we're there, you need to wake the hell up. But all of that is part of this fabric that this damn director is weaving, in addition to an absolutely incredible performance by that little kid, Roman Griffin Davis, who I think he should have damn got an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. I really do. It was that damn good. Yeah. And then, of course, Scarlett Johansson was in that flick also in a supporting role. Just a lot of good quality people. And I'm going to say it again. The satirical approach to how they did Nazism, anti-Semitism, racism, sexism, fascism, all are current and relevant right now. They're all relevant right now. I'm a social person, a social science person. That's what moves me about this movie. That I don't think it's ever been done this way, this genre, this period. So I may not win strictly because of that, but I can tell you directly, I'm entirely, blatantly okay with not winning if that's the rationale. So give me your rationale for Little Women. And I've kind of heard it, but let's give it to the audience.
Yeah, really similar actually in a lot of ways to the way you described Jojo Rabbit, in that a phenomenal cast. Very recently up-and-coming director. And a lot of threads that, even though this is an old story that's been told multiple times, granted not as many times as World War II has been explored, but quite a few times, the way in which Greta Gerwig tells this story and weaves it pulls out new themes and social commentaries that have not been present in prior iterations of this story. And the performances across the board are just really strong. I mean,
by each of the actresses?
Looking at, two nominees in there. Laura Dern wasn't nominated for that film, right?
Oh, but she's in that too.
Little Women. She's in Little Women. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got Meryl Streep in there. We've got Florence Pugh, who's nominated for Little Women, and then Saoirse Ronan, who's also nominated for it. So right. I think it's just a really strong showing.
Okay. If we need to do it, who would you choose as a 2?
As my sleeper?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I might go with... See, I don't want my sleeper to be the one that you chose as your... No, wait. I could go 1917. You didn't choose.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
I think I would go 1917 as my sleeper.
Yeah, I think, and I'm going to do that too, even though we've picked, our choice for the win. But yeah. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's probably going to be 1917 that wins. And I'm not going to have a problem with that. I mean, it's a damn good movie. It's really good. I guess, it's a war movie too, right?
Right.
But at the same time, in terms of the relevance long term, and I've already shared that, my thought processes, my cognitive processes in discussion and intellectually approaching art. This is how I think, and it has to matter for me. I have to see this 50 years from now, as I'm sitting here in my SuperMex crystal ball. I have to see it 50 years from now kicking ass, unique, different, and something that no one had ever done before or since. And that's quite literally the difference why I'm choosing Jojo Rabbit over 1917, even though I believe 1917 will probably win the overall. So we're probably going to be uniform on that one as well, at least in the second choice. But, we do have 2 different movies, for our top picks. And, I'm comfortable with your choice, and I hope you're comfortable with mine as well. They're good movies.
I'm there.
They're well constructed, great stories. Yeah. They have things about them that their directors pulled out, great performances by their actors, their ensemble. Just good stuff. One thing I'm going to back up a little bit on with you. Something that you brought out, and I'm going to have to watch Little Women. I've seen Little Women a bunch of times too, and a lot of different times over a lifetime. But when somebody updates something and provides you alternative perspective to things that you think you know already because they're so ubiquitous over time, then I might have to take another look. I might have to go see that just because of what you're saying, that it's an updated telling of a tale that we supposedly all know, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, we'll talk about it once you actually get to seeing it. Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. So we are through with our picks. Tomorrow's the show. Do you watch like red carpet at all or no?
Yeah, so I'll be around. So I'll flip on the TV while I'm doing some work, and probably have that on there and perk up when I hear some of these categories called.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that back. So let me stop there. So we've got you and I and another are beginning our political roundtable. Let's put that on air tonight. And
Right.
As we wrap up tonight, Liana Jean will be joining me tomorrow, and brother Dr. Manhattan Miller, Doctor, will be joining us tomorrow for our kickoff of our Sunday political roundtable, immediately followed by my home dog Rama, who is beginning a show right after that, once we finish ours and conclude, Rama Dewar will begin his show immediately thereafter on the SuperMex international network of programs, and giving our listeners, our audience, our viewers a lot of different perspectives, not just political, but social, cultural, and everything. I'm really, really looking forward to that. For those of you guys that don't know, Rama is an Indian American, not native, but Indian from India, the country, and he is doing good work. He's doing things in his community. He's helping his people acclimate and be a part of the American fabric, and vice versa. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do. He's a great guy, great person. We've gotten to know him over the last few years. What was that? Okay, so either way, so Rama is going to start tomorrow night, so you're going to get 2 hours. Disclaimer up front, for those of you guys that are with me, Barbara, if you're here as you usually are, tomorrow's political roundtable, because we haven't done it in a long time, month and a half, 2 months, is going to be about the just concluded impeachment process, trial, etc. And if you're really hard on the polls, meaning political polarization, one way or the other, don't watch this show. I'll just tell you up front, don't watch, because I'm going to pull off the bandage, and I'm going to get down into the meat and potatoes of what it is that we saw over the last number of weeks in the impeachment trial and process, including the facts that were found and what did happen, because we are all about facts, okay? So that's tomorrow, and we'll do that around 4 o'clock, and then immediately thereafter, 5 o'clock with Rama Dewar and his show. So you got plenty. And so before we go off tonight, I want to say a big thank you to Liana Jean for being with us and helping share your thoughts on the program and what we're going to see tomorrow. And we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins.
Yeah, we've got a bet to see through to completion here, so.
Yeah, exactly. So that's tomorrow. And from now on, Liana will be an active and ongoing contributor to a variety of things that we do. We quite literally need her perspective. She's, I'll say, young with no ulterior negative, obviously, but younger than me, a younger female perspective that I quite literally need, and that I'll say in general that we all need. We don't want one colored, filtered version from just a single lone individual. We try to ask for and bring forward contrary, if not differing opinion. And so Liana is providing that for me, if not us. And so I'm really looking forward to what she's doing on SuperMex Nation and the programs that we have going forward. So again, Liana, thank you very much. I know you got to get going, but I want to thank you for being here. I will give you a buzz sometime tomorrow to get ready for tomorrow's show. And in the meantime, make sure you're having a good time. And so for us, if you guys are out, you know the deal, SuperMex Nation, nothing but love for you. Go out, enjoy, go watch a movie. And for those of you guys that watch tonight, somebody's going to win a movie off of this list that we saw tonight for Best Picture. That will happen, and I'll send you a movie. So nothing but love for everybody from SuperMex Nation. Enjoy your weekend. For some of you, I'll see you tomorrow. If you don't want politics, don't watch. But so tomorrow we'll be back, and I look forward to doing that as we engage with more people on SuperMex Nation. Nothing but love for you. Thank you very much. SuperMex is out.